Hi everyone, so you are confused now whether to pull Cantarella or no because in next patch, Luno or Augusta are going to be released. So, what should you do to pull Cantarella for Prolova or skip her during her rerun today? So as you all know, Cantarella was first released in March and then now she's getting a first rerun and you know why, because she is the greatest basin slot for Prolova. So let's break down her kit to make sure that you know how she works before we make a decision either to pull her or to skip her banner. So first let's look at her normal attack. Her normal attack only have 3 consecutive attacks and it deals havoc damage. And then she got 2 types of heavy attack, which is heavy attack, the normal one, and the delusive dive. This one only activates when you have trance. So what a trance? If you go to a fortress circuit, there's called something trance. This is called trance. So Cantarella can have 5 trance, and these are few of the things that you can do in order to gain your trance point. For example, casting intro skill, hitting your target with basic attack stage 3, casting resonance skill, graceful step, casting resonance liberation, flowing suffocation, and when you are in water, she recovers 1 trance. So these are few of the ways you can gain the trance. So when you have trance, you hold the heavy attack, she will enter a mode called Mirage. This Mirage mode is where you can heal your characters. Yes, Cantarella have a healing ability which is great for sustainability for your characters. So one thing to note is that Mirage mode, if already been activated, you can't activate it again. So only can activate it once. But after the Mirage stage ends, then you can activate it again. And this also can be cast in water. Next is the mid-air attack and dodge counter. That's all for a normal attack. So let's look at the resonance skills. For resonance skills, there's 2 types, which is graceful step and flickering reverie. Graceful step is just normal resonance skill, but when you are in Mirage mode, as I explained before, her resonance skill will change from graceful step into flickering reverie. So what does it does? Your resonance skill, when it becomes flickering reverie, it will be considered as echo skill. As you look here, the graceful step is not counted as echo skill, but if you are in flickering reverie state, then it will be called as echo skill. And as you know, Prolova, her main damage dealing is come from your teammates using echo skill. So you have to make sure you enter into Mirage mode when you want to use your resonance skill so that you can trigger Prolova's damage too. So that's how her skill of resonance flickering reverie works. Next, it also sends them into hazy dream. So what is hazy dream? It's literally mean it's like freezing ability, but it's called as hazy dream. It's like for havoc freeze team. Something like that. What does hazy dream does? It does havoc damage. It will attack your enemies using basic attack. Other than that, attacks by other resonators will not trigger jolt. That you have to remember. So that means it will only trigger if Cantarella is attacking the enemies. Coordinated attack also does not count, so make sure you only use attacks from Cantarella. So that's for her resonance skill. Now let's look into a forte circuit. Okay, so you already know what Mirage is. So in Mirage mode, when your basic attack will turn into Phantom Sting, it deals 3 consecutive attacks and it can be cast in mid-air, and the basic attack Phantom Sting also consumes stamina, but it does not reset when Cantarella's combo is in the air. Next thing to notice is that hitting the target with basic attack will turn your trance into Shiver. So what does Shiver does? It heal your all nearby resonators. That means every single team members will get a healing. Next, the third stage of the basic attack also triggers 3 coordinated attacks. So if you have Jinxie, this will be really useful because the third attack is considered as coordinated attack. And as you know, Jinxie build her forte bar through coordinated attacks. So next is the mid-air attack. It will become into Abysmal Vortex, and when you jump, it will deal havoc damage. Next, your dodge counter is also converted into Shadowy Sweep, and it also SAM. But the one thing you need to note is that when you use Shadowy Sweep and you quickly press normal attack, it will start from Phantom stage 2. So you can skip the first part. So that's the good thing about this. Next is when mid-air attack, Abysmal or dodge counter, Shadowy Sweep hit a target, this also gives you Shiva points. So if you have 3 Shiva points, then you will enter a forte circuit called Perception Drain. So what does Perception Drain does is, it consumes all the Shiva and it will deal havoc damage to the enemy and send them into hazy dream. And it also heals your characters. One thing to note is that you have to make sure this is activated because it will trigger the echo skill. So as you can see here, there's 3 ways to trigger a echo skill. First is through the Forte Circuit Perception Drain. The second one is when you enter Flickering Reverie to Mirage mode. And the third one is the Resonance Liberation. So that's why she's one of the best in slot for Prolova. So as we already covered that, one thing to note is that Mirage only lasts for 8 seconds. So when Mirage ends when Trance is depleted. So once 5 Trance finish, Mirage will end too. So one thing to note is that what the Shiver does that it can hold only up to 3 points. So if you hit your attack with Phantom Sting, it will recover 1 Shiver. When you do mid-air attack Abysmal Vortex and Shadowy Sweep, it also restores 1 point of Shiver. Just a small thing to note. Okay, so that's all for her Forte Circuit. And for her inherent skill, Cure will increase your healing. And for your inherent skill Poison, it gives 12% at Havoc damage bonus because it stacks up to 2 times. So that's all for her inherent skill. Next, let's look at Resonance Liberation. It's called as Flowing Suffocation. It will put Diffusion. What does Diffusion does is that it will have coordinated attack by Dreamweavers. But one thing you need to know is that one Dreamweaver will hit your opponents. It will not count as hits. So it will only count as hit if you do the hittings. So then only you can trigger the Dreamweavers. You can see here within 3 seconds after the resonance deals damage. That means your resonator have to deal the damage, not the Dreamweaver. Then only you can trigger the Dreamweavers. So I hope you understand this part. And a total of 21. But there's one thing to note is that when you have an extra resonance skill, you can get extra 5 more, which is 26. That one I will cover later soon. So this lasts for 30 seconds and extremely useful for characters like Jinxie. And finally, her intro skill, it's called as Ripple and Tidal Surge. Ripple is when you are in normal mode, and when in Mirage, it is called as Tidal Surge. Intro skill, when she's in Tidal Surge, will trigger 3 coordinated attacks and deal havoc damage. And one more thing to note is that her outro. Her outro gives 20% havoc damage bonus and resonance skill damage for 14 seconds. So this is extremely useful when you are using mono havoc teams. Okay, we already covered her kit. Let's look into her sequence. Should you pull or not for a sequence if you already have her? For her first one, I think it's quite good because it gives you interruptions and it also increase your abilities by 50% more. But for me, I think S3 is the best one. Let me cover this later. So let's cover S2 first. So for her S2, it will send you into Hazy Dream, and also it increases the jolt damage by 245%. This is a good damage increase in my opinion, but it can't be compared to S3. If you look at S3, the Resonance Liberation increased by 370%, which is a lot if you ask me. And also after casting Resonance Liberation, you will straight away enter into Mirage mode. You no longer need 5 trance. But one thing to note is that if you are already in Mirage, then it won't work. Either you have 5 trance in Mirage mode, or if you have S3, you can straight away enter into Mirage mode. This is a good quality of life if you ask me, and this can sure make her extremely stronger. So for S4, she increases the healing. She's quite a good healer if you have her as S4. And then for S5, as I mentioned before, this will increase your Diffusion Dreamweavers by 5. So from 21, you plus 5, it gets 26. So you will have 26 in total. And for final one, this is quite good because it can ignore defense for 10 seconds. And it also have a value of 30%. Other than that, this also increases 80% of your damage multiplier by Phantom Sting. So you have to be sure if you want to invest fully in her, then you can go for S6. But I will say the best stopping point will be S3. So we have talked about her. So should you pull her or not? In my opinion, if you have Prolova and you want to increase Prolova's damage, then you should pull her. But if you want to skip for the next characters, which is Augusta and Luno, then I will say she's a better skip unit. But for personally me, if you ask me, I have Prolova and I won't be pulling for Cantarella because Prolova herself is very strong and she do not need Cantarella at all, and she can work well with Havoc Robber. So this is my opinion, but as every video, I will give the option to you guys. You want to pull because you like the character or she supports Prolova, then go pull for her. If you don't think so, then you can save for Augusta or Luno. Thank you for watching. Peace out.